If you could see the actual truth of any given situation where other humans are concerned, then you wouldn't be able to bear any ill will or harbour any resentment, no matter what they have done, no matter how their actions have affected you or how you have perceived them to have affected you. The truth is, healthy, healed people, but people who haven't been able to acknowledge their brokenness and begin a healing journey are hurt people. And so hurt people can only pass that misery on. So realistically, you can see that what is missing is love. So everybody needs love in order to be able to change. So when somebody does something which is harmful to you, or even just mildly annoying or irritating or obstructive, it's not them as they are in that moment that is doing that. That is a frozen moment in time. That is that human at a particular stage of their development in childhood. Having anger and not being able to channel that anger in any constructive way, having to swallow it or getting it beat out of them, not having a voice, not having power, not having control. Then as a human, the majority of the world is taken up by scared children in adult costumes. Because of unresolved childhood traumas, the shadow of a childhood, the darkness becomes magnified in our experience through the projection, which is rooted in fear and anxiety and distortions about what we think about life and believe, all the victimhood. The point is, all crime against humans is crime against God. And that doesn't matter whether it's taking a 50p piece out of somebody's jeans, or cutting their legs off with a chainsaw, any act of taking any act which is not an act of love is an act of hatred. In the Bible it says to have hatred in your heart is to murder another, because you would prefer that they don't exist. Most people aren't happy with their own life, with who they are or who they perceive themselves to be. The lot that they have been given. And the perverse thing is, most of these people have everything that we ever need in this life. They have a roof over their head. They have food, they have a bed, they have a family, they have friends even. But it's not enough. Hungry ghosts in the land of milk and honey. That's from a song by Wookiefoot. There is a vacuous hole. It is just one entity that is everything outside of the goodness of God. Selflessness and charity and giving and loving kindness, and there is a narcissistic mind virus whereby frightened children have been armed, weaponized with adult powers without being able to fully grasp the weight of adult responsibility. I've recently come into the realization about the fact, it's a fact I have lived the experience to see, to know, that there are humans that I can only describe as soulless in this life, who are able to appear one way and be, as in at the root, at the very core of who they are, something entirely different and fool everybody. The truth shall set you free, but first it will piss you off. And if it doesn't piss you off, then I don't think you're doing it correctly somehow. Because it is a strange old world out there. So, to see with the eyes of God is to recognize that all humans are fragile and fallible creatures, and every man has his price. And, you know, at the end of the day, we should exclusively be feeling sorry, sympathy, not for the devil, but for the souls who don't have God in their life, even though God turns no one away. And not only that, God is forever sending out earth angels to be amongst the people. People reject God's love because they don't feel worthy, whether they know that or not. The magnitude of God, what God is, the depth and height and expanse of love, we know it's different to what the televisions and songs portray. We know it's bigger than that. And that scares us, doesn't it? Or it scares our fragile human mind and ego. That stuff is, you know, compared to the heart, compared to the soul, compared to infinity, eternal love. Yeah, man. But it's time for change. We're calling it in. And we are healing the children within us in order to be able to accommodate all of the other children that exist outside of us, all of the children, not calling them in, being prepared to be able to have an open door policy. Mhm. This year is going to be so much fun. Yes. That's a promise. That's a promise. It's truth. That is a prophecy. And it will be fulfilled. So it is. Amen. All that good stuff. I love you. And you love me. What more do we need to know?